if you're still the same person you were a year ago. You've been scammed by an industry that makes money keeping you stuck in endless cycles of temporary motivation followed by permanent disappointment. The personal development world has convinced millions of people that change is complicated, that healing takes forever, and that breakthrough moments are rare gifts reserved for the chosen few. This is intellectual fraud designed to extract maximum profit from your pain. The biological reality is that your brain can form new neural pathways in days, not years. Your identity can shift in weeks, not decades. Your entire life can be revolutionized in 21 days through the simple application of neuroscience principles that anyone can learn and apply. But admitting this truth would collapse a multi-billion-dollar industry built on selling hope without delivering results. Your life is exactly 21 days away from complete transformation. Not 21 months, not 21 years. 21 days right now as you sit there listening to these words. Your brain is already beginning to form new neural pathways that will completely reshape who you are and what you're capable of achieving. Most people believe that real change takes a lifetime. They think you need years of therapy, decades of experience, or some magical moment of inspiration to turn your life around. They're wrong, dead wrong. And that false belief is exactly what keeps them stuck in mediocrity, while others race past them towards success and fulfillment. The human brain is the most sophisticated learning machine ever created. Every single second it's processing millions of pieces of information, creating new connections, and literally rewiring itself based on what you think, what you do, and what you focus on. Scientists call this neuroplasticity. And it's the most powerful force for personal change that exists. Here's what happens when you commit to consistent action for 21 consecutive days. On day one, your brain starts laying down new neural pathways. These pathways are like tiny roads in your mind. At first, they're nothing more than dirt paths, barely visible and easily forgotten. But each day you repeat the same positive action. These pathways get stronger. By day 7, they've become clear trails. By day 14, they're solid roads. And by day 21, they've become superhighways in your brain. This isn't theory, this isn't wishful thinking, this is hard science, proven in laboratories around the world. When you repeat any behavior for 21 days, your brain physically changes. The neurons that fire together begin to wire together permanently. What was once difficult becomes automatic. What once required willpower becomes natural. But here's where most people make their first mistake. They think change should be easy. They expect to wake up on day 2 feeling completely different. When they don't, they quit. They go back to their old habits, their old thinking patterns, their old results. They never give their brain the 21 days it needs to complete the rewiring process. The most successful people in the world understand something that failures never learn. Success isn't about making one giant leap. It's about making small, consistent improvements every single day. It's about the compound effect of tiny actions that build momentum over time. Let me tell you about David, a client of mine who was drowning in debt, overweight, and stuck in a job he hated. 22 days later, he had lost 15 pounds, paid off 3 credit cards, and received a promotion with a 30% salary increase. What happened? He committed to just 4 simple actions every day for 21 days. He woke up 30 minutes earlier. He wrote down 3 things he was grateful for. He walked for 20 minutes and he made 1 phone call to advance his career. That's it. 4 simple actions that took less than 2 hours total each day. The compound effect of these small actions was incredible. Waking up earlier gave him energy and confidence. Gratitude shifted his mindset from scarcity to abundance. Walking improved his health and cleared his thinking. The daily phone calls opened up opportunities he never knew existed. By day 21, these weren't disciplines anymore, they were habits. They had become part of who he was. Now, here's the crucial part that separates winners from losers. Most people try to change everything at once. They want to transform their health, their finances, their relationships, and their career all in the same week. This is a recipe for failure. Your brain can only form so many new neural pathways at one time. When you try to change too much too fast, you overwhelm your mental circuits and nothing sticks. The 21-day approach is different. You focus on one primary change at a time. You give your brain the chance to solidify new pathways before adding new ones. You build success upon success rather than spreading your energy across a dozen different goals. Think about the athletes who break world records. They don't try to improve everything about their performance overnight. They focus on one technique, one aspect of their training, one mental strategy at a time. They practice it over and over for weeks until it becomes automatic. Then they move on to the next improvement. This is exactly how you build an extraordinary life. The reason 21 days works so well is that it's long enough to create real change, but short enough to maintain focus and motivation. You can commit to anything for 21 days. You can push through resistance for 21 days. You can maintain discipline for 21 days. And once those 21 days are complete, you're not the same person who started the process. You've literally become someone new. Your old identity was built on years of repeated thoughts and actions. Every time you said, "I can't," every time you chose the easy path, every time you gave up when things got difficult, you were reinforcing neural pathways that supported a limited version of yourself. But here's the beautiful truth. You can build new pathways just as easily. You can create a new identity based on different choices, different thoughts, different actions. The person you're going to become over the next 21 days already exists inside you. They're waiting for you to give them permission to emerge. They're waiting for you to stop making excuses and start making progress. They're waiting for you to understand that transformation isn't about finding yourself. It's about creating yourself through deliberate, consistent action every single day. You're either building the life you want or reinforcing the life you already have. There is no neutral. There is no staying the same. You're either growing or you're dying. You're either moving forward or falling behind. The question isn't whether you're going to change. The question is whether you're going to direct that change or let it happen by accident. 21 days from today, you're going to be a different person. The only question is, what kind of different person are you going to choose to become? Now that you understand the science behind 21-day transformation, let me show you exactly what to focus on during those crucial 3 weeks. Every person who has ever achieved lasting change has built their success on 4 fundamental pillars. These aren't theories or concepts. These are the actual building blocks that separate those who talk about change from those who create it. The first pillar is mental clarity. Your mind is either your greatest asset or your biggest liability. There's no middle ground. Right now, your head is filled with thousands of thoughts, most of them negative. Most of them focused on what you can't do, what you don't have, and what might go wrong. These thoughts didn't appear overnight, and they won't disappear overnight either. But they can be replaced in 21 days. Mental clarity means cleaning out the mental garbage that's been accumulating for years. It means identifying the voice in your head that says you're not smart enough or people like you don't succeed, and replacing it with truth. The truth is that you have the same brain capacity as any successful person who has ever lived. The truth is that your background doesn't determine your future. The truth is that you can learn any skill, develop any habit, and achieve any goal if you're willing to pay the price in daily effort. This mental house cleaning starts with awareness. For the next 21 days, you're going to catch yourself every time you think a limiting thought. You're going to stop that thought in its tracks and replace it with an empowering one. This isn't positive thinking nonsense. This is mental discipline. This is taking control of the most powerful force in your life, your thoughts. The second pillar is physical energy. Your body and your success are connected in ways that most people never understand. When your body is strong, your mind is sharp. When your body has energy, you make better decisions. When your body feels good, you attract better opportunities. This isn't about becoming a fitness model. This is about giving yourself the physical foundation you need to build an extraordinary life. Physical energy comes from three sources: what you eat, how you move, and how you sleep. For 21 days, you're going to fuel your body like the high-performance machine it is. You're going to move every single day, even if it's just a 20-minute walk. And you're going to protect your sleep like your life depends on it, because it does. When you have abundant physical energy, everything else becomes easier. The third pillar is emotional intelligence. This is your ability to manage your feelings instead of letting your feelings manage you. Most people are emotional prisoners. They feel angry, so they act angry. They feel scared, so they avoid taking action. They feel discouraged, so they quit. But successful people have learned to feel the emotion without being controlled by it. Emotional intelligence means recognizing that feelings are temporary visitors, not permanent residents. You can feel fear and still take action. You can feel discouraged and still move forward. You can feel angry and still respond with wisdom. This skill alone will transform every relationship in your life and multiply your effectiveness in everything you do. The fourth pillar is action consistency. This is where most people fail. They understand what to do. They have the energy to do it. They've managed their emotions, but they don't do it consistently. They work hard for 3 days, then take 2 days off. They eat well for a week, then have a bad weekend. They exercise regularly for 10 days, then skip a week. Action consistency means showing up every single day, especially when you don't feel like it. It means keeping your promises to yourself even when no one else is watching. It means understanding that your character is built through the small choices you make when it would be easier to quit. These four pillars work together like the legs of a table. Remove any one of them and the whole structure becomes unstable. But when all four are strong, they create unstoppable momentum in your life. Let me tell you about Maria, a single mother of two who was working double shifts just to pay rent. She felt trapped, exhausted, and hopeless. Then she committed to building these four pillars over 21 days. She started each morning with 5 minutes of positive thinking to build mental clarity. She began walking during her lunch break to increase her physical energy. She practiced deep breathing to manage her emotional reactions, and she committed to one small action every day to advance her career. By day 21, Maria had received 2 job interviews, lost 8 pounds, and most importantly, she had become a different person. She walked taller, spoke with confidence, and radiated the kind of energy that attracts opportunities. 6 months later, she was promoted to manager with a 40% salary increase. 2 years later, she started her own business. The transformation didn't happen because of luck or connections or special talent. It happened because she built her life on these 4 unshakable pillars. She created a foundation strong enough to support the life she wanted to live. When these 4 pillars are working together in your life, something magical happens. Success stops being something you chase and becomes something you attract. Opportunities start appearing everywhere. People want to help you. Doors open that you didn't even know existed. But here's the key. You must build all 4 pillars simultaneously over the next 21 days. You can't just focus on 1 or 2 and hope for the best. Success requires the complete package: a clear mind, an energized body, controlled emotions, and consistent action. Now comes the moment when everything changes. You understand the science. You know the 4 pillars. But understanding without action is worthless. Knowledge without implementation is just entertainment. So let me give you the exact blueprint that will turn the next 21 days into the most transformative period of your life. Your 21-day transformation breaks down into 3 distinct phases, each with its own challenges and breakthroughs. Week 1 is foundation building. This is when you're laying the groundwork for everything that follows. Your brain is fighting you during this phase. It wants to go back to the familiar patterns, the comfortable routines, the safe mediocrity you've been living in. Every new habit feels awkward. Every positive choice requires conscious effort. This is normal. This is expected. This is where most people quit. But you're not most people during week 1. You're going to focus on consistency over perfection. If you miss a day, you start again the next day. If you make a mistake, you learn from it and move forward. Your only job during these first 7 days is to show up and do the work, even when it feels forced, even when it feels fake, even when every fiber of your being wants to go back to sleep. Week 2 is where the magic begins. This is momentum creation. By day 8, something shifts in your brain. The new behaviors start feeling less strange. You wake up with slightly more energy. You find yourself looking forward to your new routines instead of dreading them. The neural pathways you've been building are getting stronger. The resistance is weakening. You're starting to become the person you decided to be. This is the most dangerous week of all because you start feeling good and you think you can coast. You think you can skip a day here and there because you're already seeing results. Don't fall for this trap. Week 2 is when you double down. Week 2 is when you push harder, not easier. This is when you build the momentum that will carry you through any obstacle. Week 3 is integration and mastery. By day 15, your new habits stop feeling like habits. They feel like who you are. You're not trying to think positive thoughts anymore. Positive thinking has become your natural state. You're not forcing yourself to exercise. Movement has become something your body craves. You're not fighting your emotions. You're managing them with the skill of a master. The daily structure that makes this transformation possible is elegantly simple. Every morning, before you check your phone, before you talk to another human being, you spend 5 minutes programming your mind for success. You write down 3 specific goals you will accomplish that day. You read them out loud with emotion and conviction. You visualize yourself completing them successfully. This 5-minute morning routine does more than set your intentions. It activates your reticular activating system, the part of your brain that filters information and notices opportunities. When you start your day with clear goals, your mind automatically starts looking for ways to achieve them throughout the day. You protect your energy like it's your most valuable asset, because it is. You eat foods that fuel your body instead of foods that drain it. You move your body every few hours to keep your blood flowing and your mind sharp. You catch negative thoughts before they multiply and replace them with empowering ones. Every evening, you spend 5 minutes reviewing your progress. You celebrate what you accomplished. You learn from what you missed. You plan improvements for tomorrow. This evening reflection isn't optional. It's what turns random activity into purposeful growth. When setbacks happen, and they will, you use them as fuel instead of excuses. Every obstacle becomes evidence that you're growing. Every challenge becomes proof that you're moving outside your comfort zone. Every temporary failure becomes a stepping stone to permanent success. The key to handling resistance is understanding that it's not a sign you should quit. Resistance is a sign you're doing something important. The bigger the resistance, the more significant the breakthrough waiting on the other side. Your old self is fighting for survival, but your new self is fighting for freedom. Every person who attempts to transform their life will face 3 predictable obstacles. These aren't random challenges that might happen. These are guaranteed roadblocks that will test your commitment and determine whether you join the 5% who succeed or the 95% who give up and go back to their old life. The first obstacle is fear of failure and self-doubt around day 5 or 6. Your mind will start playing tricks on you. It will whisper things like, "Who are you kidding? And people like you don't really change. and you've tried this before and failed. This voice isn't your enemy. It's your brain trying to protect you from the discomfort of growth. But protection and progress cannot coexist when self-doubt strikes, and it will. You need a strategy. First, recognize that doubt is normal. Every successful person has felt it. The difference is they didn't let it stop them. Second, focus on evidence instead of emotions. Look at what you've already accomplished in just 5 days. Look at the small improvements in your energy, your attitude, your confidence. Third, remember that you don't need to believe in yourself to take action. You just need to take action despite not believing. The most powerful weapon against self-doubt is momentum. Every day you complete your commitments. You're building evidence that you are indeed someone who follows through. Every small win becomes proof that bigger wins are possible. By day 10, the voice of doubt gets quieter. By day 15, it nearly disappears. By day 21, it's been replaced by quiet confidence. The second obstacle is lack of support from family and friends. This one catches people off guard because they expect their loved ones to cheer them on. Instead, they often face skepticism, jokes, or outright sabotage. Your family and friends aren't trying to hurt you. They're uncomfortable with your growth because it highlights their own lack of progress when you start changing. It forces them to confront their own excuses. Don't try to convince them. Don't try to change their minds. Simply change yourself and let your results speak. Some people will never support your growth, and that's okay. Success is not a group activity. You don't need anyone's permission to become the person you're meant to be. Instead of depending on others for motivation, become your own source of encouragement. Create accountability systems that don't rely on other people's approval. Track your progress in writing. Celebrate your wins privately. Build your confidence from the inside out. When you stop needing external validation, you become unstoppable. The third obstacle is old habits pulling you back to your comfort zone. Your comfort zone is like quicksand. It feels safe, but it's slowly destroying your potential around day 12 or 13. You'll feel a strong pull to go back to your old ways. You'll tell yourself you deserve a break. You'll rationalize that one day off won't hurt. This is the moment that separates champions from quitters. Your comfort zone is not comfortable, it's familiar. There's a huge difference. Familiar feels safe because it's known, but it's slowly killing your dreams, your potential, your future. Real comfort comes from growth, from becoming more than you were yesterday, from building a life that excites you instead of one that drains you. When the pull of old habits gets strong, use the power of environment to support your new identity. Remove temptations from your immediate surroundings. Change your routes, your routines, your regular hangouts if necessary. Surround yourself with reminders of who you're becoming, not reminders of who you used to be. Remember that discomfort is temporary, but regret lasts forever. The discomfort of discipline weighs ounces, but the pain of regret weighs tons. 21 days of intentional discomfort will save you from years of unintentional suffering. These three obstacles are not roadblocks. They're tests. They're opportunities to prove to yourself that you're serious about change. When you overcome them, you don't just transform your habits. You transform your identity. You become someone who follows through, someone who persists, someone who wins. Day 21 arrives and something extraordinary has happened. You wake up and realize you're not the same person who started this process 3 weeks ago. You move differently, you think differently, you respond to challenges differently. The habits that once required tremendous willpower now happen automatically. The thoughts that once dominated your mind have been replaced by empowering beliefs. You've literally become a new person. But here's what most people don't understand about transformation. Day 21 isn't the finish line, it's the starting line. You haven't just changed your habits over these past 3 weeks, You've proven to yourself that you have the power to change anything in your life. You've developed the most valuable skill any human being can possess, the ability to follow through on your commitments to yourself. The compound effect of what you've accomplished over these 21 days will astound you as months and years pass. Those small daily actions you took, those moments when you chose growth over comfort, those times when you pushed through resistance, they're all compounding like interest in a bank account. The person you are today is earning dividends that will pay you for decades to come. Let me tell you about Robert, a construction worker who started his 21-day transformation 5 years ago. He was 42 years old, divorced, financially struggling, and had given up on most of his dreams. His 21-day commitment was simple. Read for 30 minutes every morning before work, do 50 push-ups, and write down one business idea every day. By day 21, Robert had consumed more educational content than in the previous 10 years combined. His body felt stronger, his mind was buzzing with possibilities, but more importantly, he had become someone who kept his word to himself. He had developed what I call self-respect, which is the foundation of all other success. After those first 21 days, Robert committed to another 21-day cycle this time. He added learning a new skill, saving $20 a day, and networking with one new person weekly. Then another cycle focused on health and fitness. Then another on building his business plan. Each cycle built upon the previous one today. Robert owns 3 successful businesses, employs 47 people, and has created millionaire-level wealth. But the most remarkable thing about Robert isn't his money. It's his confidence. It's his certainty that he can achieve anything he sets his mind to. It's his knowledge that he is someone who follows through, no matter what. This is what's possible when you understand that transformation isn't a one-time event. It's a way of life. Every 21 days, you can reinvent another aspect of your existence. You can develop new skills, build new relationships, create new income streams, improve your health, strengthen your character. There's literally no limit to what you can become. Your new identity as someone who transforms every 21 days makes you incredibly attractive to opportunity. Employers want to hire people who grow consistently. Investors want to back people who execute relentlessly. Partners want to work with people who deliver results. Success starts finding you instead of you chasing success. But with this power comes responsibility. You now have an obligation to use your transformation to lift up others. Your example becomes a beacon of hope for people who are where you used to be. Your story becomes proof that change is possible for anyone willing to commit to the process. When your family members see your transformation, they start believing in their own potential. When your friends watch you build a better life, they start questioning their own excuses. When your coworkers observe your growth, they start raising their own standards. You become a catalyst for positive change in everyone around you. This ripple effect is one of the most fulfilling aspects of personal transformation. You don't just change your own life, you give others permission to change theirs. You become living proof that ordinary people can create extraordinary results through consistent daily action. Now, as we reach the end of our time together, I want to leave you with a challenge and a promise. The challenge is this: commit to your first 21-day transformation starting today. Not tomorrow, not next Monday, not after you finish this project or solve that problem. Today, right now, this moment. Choose one area of your life that you want to transform. Pick one simple action you can take every day for 21 days. Write it down, say it out loud, make it real, then wake up tomorrow and begin building the neural pathways that will create the life you've always wanted. The promise is this: if you will commit fully to 21 days of consistent action, if you will push through the resistance and overcome the obstacles, if you will build your life on the 4 pillars we've discussed, Your life will never be the same. 21 days from now, you will have become someone new, someone stronger, someone more capable, someone who attracts success instead of chasing it. You have everything you need to succeed. You have a brain capable of forming new neural pathways. You have a body capable of taking consistent action. You have access to all the information and resources necessary to build any life you want. The only question that remains is, will you use what you have? The person you're meant to become is waiting for you to start. They're waiting for you to stop making excuses and start making progress. They're waiting for you to realize that you don't need to be perfect to begin, but you do need to begin to become perfect. Your transformation starts now. Your new life starts today. 21 days from this moment, you will either be the same person you are right now, or you will have become someone extraordinary. The choice is yours. Choose wisely. Choose courageously. Choose now.